From JBS Studios in Greater New York, this is the JBS News Update with Teisha Bader.
I'm Teisha Bader with the JBS News Update for Tuesday, November the 20th, 2018. The IDF is investigating whether a stabbing today in the West Bank was in fact a terror attack. The incident took place near the Arab town of Beit Jala, where a 35-year-old Israeli man was stabbed in the face and lightly injured when he walked into a grocery store in the area. The stabber, who was said to be Palestinian, fled the scene and Israeli forces were searching for him. The victim was treated at the scene by Magen David Adom and IDF medics and taken to Jerusalem's Hadassah Hospital. U.S. Ambassador to the United Nations Nikki Haley took a strong stance yesterday against terror group Hamas. In her remarks to a UN Security Council meeting, Haley responded to UN's Special Coordinator for Middle East Peace Nikolai Mladenov's comments made earlier for both sides, Israel and Hamas, to use, quote, maximum restraint in regards to the Gaza situation. Haley stressed in her comments that it was Hamas that was targeting civilians in Israel.
In fairness to Mr. Mladenov, his briefing on this month's events in the Middle East did touch on the current violence in Gaza, but his reporting misses the mark when he calls for restraint from both sides. Neighborhoods were targeted. A bus was bombed by an anti-tank missile. Families were forced into bomb shelters to escape the barrage. Even if you accept Hamas's excuse that it launched its missiles in response to an Israeli covert operation, you cannot escape the fact that the Gaza militants targeted civilians in response.
Well, more fallout today from the announcement yesterday made by vacation home rental giant Airbnb that they would no longer include Jewish settlements in the West Bank on their listings. Israel's Strategic Affairs Minister Gilad Erdan said Airbnb had given in to the boycott, divestment, and sanctions campaign against Israel. The Simon Wiesenthal Center's leaders, Rabbis Marvin Heyer and Abraham Cooper, noted that nowhere else on the planet has Airbnb stopped making its service available in disputed territories except Judea and Samaria, referring to the West Bank. They said, we don't expect Airbnb to be geopolitical experts, but today's draconian and unjust move, which only empowers extremists and terrorists, merits only one response: taking our community's business elsewhere. And the Wiesenthal Center urged others to do the same. The Canadian Federation of Students endorsed the BDS movement yesterday and also condemned Israel for, quote, atrocities against Palestinians in Gaza, unquote. Hillel Canada condemned the decision, saying, as Jewish Canadians and academics, we are disheartened by the amount of energy invested in disparaging Israelis rather than creating spaces for those with competing narratives and historical experiences to come together to engage with complex issues like the Israeli-Palestinian conflict. Israel's environmental organization, Keren Kayemet LeYisrael Jewish National Fund, has offered its help to the state of California in light of the devastating forest fires that have ravaged the state. World Chairman of KKL-JNF Daniel Attar sent a letter today to the Chief of the U.S. Department of Agriculture's Forest Service, Vicki Christensen, writing, our thoughts and prayers are with the families and friends of those who have perished. We want to express our solidarity, encouragement, and support and offer our assistance if there's anything we can do to help. JNF has worked with the Forest Service Department for some 30 years with knowledge sharing and assistance. An Israeli television show won Best Comedy Series last night at the 46th Annual International Emmy Awards held in New York City. Nevsu follows the marriage of an Ethiopian-Israeli man and Ashkenazi-Israeli woman. Its producers include the Gesher Fund, which seeks to bridge the gaps between diverse sectors of Israeli society, and the Avichai Foundation, which, among other things, works to encourage understanding among Jews of different religious backgrounds. Taking a look now at our programming for tonight on JBS for Tuesday, November the 20th at 7 o'clock, we bring you more of our coverage from the 2018 General Assembly of the Jewish Federations of North America, including tonight remarks from New Jewish Agency Chairman Isaac Herzog and from Israeli mother Miriam Peretz, who lost 2 sons in combat. At 9 tonight, Mark Golub sits down with the founding director of the Israel-based civil rights organization Shurat Hadin, Nitzana Darshan Leitner, on L'chaim. At 10:15, ISGAP's Charles Small speaks about opportunities for Jews and Muslims to build a better future. That's at the Muslim World League Conference. And coming up right after this newscast tonight at 6:30, it's the Debka File. And that's the JBS News Update for Tuesday, November the 20th, 2018. I'm Teisha Bader.